Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio Podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
Pretty good.
Excellent, excellent. The cocktail of the week this week is the anti-inflammatory.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Is it also called Advil? TM.
Sometimes you do need that, but no. This is a kind of Indian, like the country themed cocktail from New Orleans. India.
Curious.
Crossnola.
Now I'm confused, but
It
still
is
curious.
1 shot of cognac, 1 shot of turmeric-infused coconut milk.
Ooh, turmeric.
Yeah, so you take coconut milk and you basically put like a teaspoon of turmeric in there and shake it up. And
Wow, that sounds Indian flavored.
And then 1/2 ounce of honey syrup. It sounds good, right?
Ooh.
Maybe I'll make one of those. Though we've had a little bit to drink already. I don't know if I need another drink.
Got a bit of different drink.
Different drink, but...
I mean, update. Underberg is extending its bottle cap action. So my work continues.
I think it was like I bought another case of
The best thing they could do for me is to say, stop giving us the bottle caps. And then maybe I'd stop drinking so many of those things.
You're doing a good job.
They're so small.
Anyway, this looks like a pretty interesting cocktail. And look at the picture of it. It's like bright yellow.
Is turmeric that yellow?
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it super bright.
That's like saffron.
Yes.
Is that also yellow?
Saffron is also orangey.
Don't tell me saffron's a different word for turmeric.
No.
In England, they call it turmeric, or the seeds are called, what the hell?
No. Saffron is like extremely expensive.
Everyone needs to get their shit together on calling herbs and spices the same thing. But go ahead.
If you can't afford saffron, sometimes people use turmeric, but it does not taste the same.
Yes, no, saffron is the most expensive thing per weight of anything.
Yeah.
More than heroin.
It's great, though.
More than diamonds.
Throw like 3 little threads into your dish, and it's delish.
Yeah.
And you can just grow more.
Yeah, apparently not too much, though. Why is it so expensive? If you just grow it in your garden, it can't grow that well.
I think you have to harvest it by hand.
Like a weed.
Like very delicately pull the little threads out of the flowers. I think it's like a very... delicate and labor-intensive. You have a mosquito that just landed on your head. Here it is. Oh. Do you see it?
No, it just went that way. I saw it go past you.
You guys, we got a lot of mosquitoes.
You have permission to whack me hard wherever the mosquito lands, unless it's the groin region.
Okay, fair enough. It's time for Administrative Corner.
I love Administrative Corner.
Okay, so a couple people have sent us this, but just today... but friend of the squad, Amanda, got to me first.
When?
All right, ready?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dateline, Sandusky, Ohio.
Oh, the shores of Lake Erie.
A fishing boat valued at $130,000, linked to a local criminal case that made national headlines, is now up for auction.
Nice.
In May 2023, Jacob Runyon and Chase Kaminsky,
you weasel,
were sentenced after pleading guilty to cheating in a walleye tournament, the infamous Weights in Fish. The boat that they won in Weights in Fish is now up for auction. We could buy it.
I'm not buying a cheater boat.
Here's a picture of it.
Actually, they never actually won it. So, it looks nice, looks sleek.
Boat comes with motors and a trailer. It's available in Sandusky, and you can look at it.
We do live on the ocean.
Starting bid is $25,000. Currently on govdeals.com, which is where you can bid on it. The current bid is $80,000.
Oh, it's like one of those proceeds of crimes things or evidence of crimes.
It was seized as like a criminal thing.
That's crazy. We're the only one of our neighbors who has no boat.
That's true.
But I'm okay with this.
I don't know if we need a Lake Erie walleye boat in the ocean, though. I'm not sure if it's good for the ocean.
Well, no. If it were free, I would not look it in the mouth, but I'm not paying $80,000 or up for a boat. Because it doesn't actually gain much sentimental value to me, having been the subject of this story. There could be some funny, though. There could be some in the fisherman, fisherwoman, fisher people community.
Fishing
in
community
in Ohio who are like, I want this boat because the story is so good.
I mean, if I were like a fishing person, I probably would be like that. If I'm like, you know what, I need a new boat for fishing, I'd be like, I definitely want the weights and fish boat.
A mer person. Fish person.
Different.
Yeah, but for 130 grand seems like a lot for a boat. That thing had better be a rocket.
I don't know anything about boats.
Has 2 engines. That's pretty good. I don't think they're called
fast.
engines. I think engines are locomotives. Motors, yes.
Yeah. So thanks, guys, for sending it. That's a great update to our weights and fish.
Got no oars. It can't be real. Yeah, that is a good one.
Can you imagine like oaring yourself out to the middle of like one of the Great Lakes?
Let's call it rowing.
I've told you. Have we told the story on the podcast about the guys?
It bears repeating. I think it has something to do with scurvy.
We definitely have told it on the podcast.
Scurvy.
All right, just skip ahead if you heard it on like the podcast.
Oh, enjoy it again. This keeps giving.
So my first year college boyfriend had a roommate his last name was Roach. I won't say his full name. His last name.
Now you've blown it. That really narrows.
He knows who he is.
You go by first name. That's more common.
Mr. Roach's friends.
Worst anonymizing ever.
I think Roach is like a common but also funny.
Oh yeah,
he
lived in Lake Forest, but I won't say which street. I'm kidding. I don't think he lived in Lake Forest.
I don't know where he's from actually. He had a couple of friends, and they decided they were gonna steal some of those little like pedal boats that you get. Like
the ones that don't go forward at all. They're terrible.
You got a little seat and you got like bike pedals and you like crank them and then you move like 0.1 miles.
They're called pedal boats, right? I mean, they have them in the tidal basin in Washington. Like a lot of tourist places have them.
Boston, I think they're swan shaped. I've never actually been in the swan.
Well, they have bigger boats. Those are like little chariots.
Little swans?
They have like a bench across. Yeah, you sit like...
Oh, the swans are then bigger. These are like one person.
Yeah. Swans are bigger. These little pedal boats...
Yeah.
There's some name for it, but I've been in them. You can like pedal as hard as you can. That's when I was in shape. And you don't move at all.
No.
It just turns up the water. I mean, it's like a Mississippi steamer, but with just bad. It's
exactly.
just bad.
Okay, so that's what we got. A little one person.
Oh my God.
Sit in it, kind of plastic fiberglass thing.
Super fiberglass.
With pedals, and you pedal the pedals, and then you barely move. And they decided, now they were drunk. They decided that they were going to pedal across Lake Michigan. To their credit, the short way, Chicago to Michigan.
To Ohio, not to Canada?
To Michigan. I mean, maybe they would have ended up in Ohio.
Right, but not across, not up.
Not to like Mackinac Island.
Yeah.
Not up.
East-west, not north-south.
East-west, that's right. Chicago is on the...
It's the narrower part of Lake Michigan, which is like saying it's the narrow part of the Pacific Ocean.
I mean, I know not everyone, like if you're not a Midwesterner and you've not been to the Great Lakes, you don't understand how big they are, but you can't see across them.
They're oceans.
They're like seas in Europe. They're real big.
They compare to Mediterranean parts.
For sure.
Bits of the Mediterranean.
They're very big. You cannot see across them. They're very big. And they decided they were going to like go to downtown Chicago and steal these little pedal boats, and they were going to pedal across Lake Michigan.
Were they sober?
They were absolutely not sober.
Oh,
no.
Then it makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
This is something I would have thought of, except I know how big a Great Lake is because they're great.
Yes. So they start going. They get their supplies. They rent their little boats for like $15.
They rented them. They didn't even steal them.
No. I mean,
They're just going to keep them over time.
Yeah. They just head out into the lake. And eventually, hours later, the Coast Guard picks them up in the middle of the lake because, guys...
Not the middle. They didn't get close to the middle.
No,
they
right.
were still within sight, I'm sure.
You've heard the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down.
And if you haven't, go immediately to YouTube and listen to the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
It'll take a while.
It may be one of the most epic songs ever. You can disagree whether it's good or not, but it is the most epic.
It's a great song.
It's so epic.
You can't disagree. It is a great song.
It's so epic.
And like big boats with a good ship and crew
She was the pride of the American side.
The gales in November, you guys, like, they're going to take you down.
If they come early. Yeah.
The waves are big in the middle of the lake.
It's ocean-like. You look at it.
20-foot waves.
When it's bad weather, it looks like the Atlantic. Except
it's crazy.
Probably like nastier waves for like they're closer together, right? There's less like rolling and more chopping.
They get fucking rolling out there.
It's
like
bad.
It's big.
No, I'm saying it's worse almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, like if you're kind of in like Chicago, one, you just haven't seen the wind coming from the east if you don't think it gets bad because there's like big crashing waves over but like
into the sea. Into the city, I mean.
Into the city. But like let's say you haven't seen that. Like you get out there's big tall waves and you're in this little like fiberglass pedally boat. So the Coast Guard picked him up.
You can easily go, I mean if you're in a powerboat, to where you see no land whatsoever for hours.
For sure.
I mean, it is ocean-like in that respect.
It's giant.
It is giant, yes. How scary is that in your little stupid paddle boat?
And there's like waves like 10 feet tall.
I am actually freaking out now.
Yeah, and then they're like paddle, and the waves are like taller than them. And so the Coast Guard pulls them aboard, and they have in their little boats like more beer.
That way, that's important. I respect that. Although, holy cow, that's just crazy.
And also limes.
Was it Corona? Was it Corona? Because then you probably have to cut the limes into the Corona. I mean,
they're like college guys. They're not buying Corona, right? They're
Corona and lime.
I
don't know.
In Chicago, they're buying a thing that I actually thought was
Milwaukee
nationwide.
Yeah.
Old Style would be what you would buy, which I didn't realize was just a Chicago thing.
Yeah, is that not Old Milwaukee? No, it's different again.
Old Style. I mean, any Cubs fan knows what that is.
That's like Stroh's or something, or in the Midwest.
It's like Natty Light or Natty Bow, I guess.
Iron City near Pittsburgh. Yeah.
I don't think it's good. I mean, I've never drank it.
Natty Bow is also not so good, but super local.
Anyway,
Old Style is what they had.
Old Style. I don't know what brand of beer it was, but I doubt it was Corona. I don't even know that you could.
It was just Miller
back at the time. Yeah, it could have been. Could have been. Case of Bud. I don't know.
They didn't sound like they were at business school.
No, and it's not beer that needs a lime for sure. And the Coast Guard's like, "What's the limes for, you guys?" And they're like, "So we don't get scurvy." Because they're in a boat, right? And that's where you get scurvy on boats.
I mean, I respect the full commitment to the half knowledge. They're like, something scurvy on boats. Better get some limes. They're in the 7-Eleven drunk, and they're like, here's 2 cases of beer, and let's get some limes because this gets scurvy.
Yeah, they don't remember that scurvy. They're like scurvy limes. They could have bought orange juice.
They don't know what scurvy is.
No, they don't know what it is. They're just like limes.
They don't want
scurvy boats. We're gonna be basically on a boat.
Oh my god!
We better get some.
You know what'd be fun? One of these days, you have to calculate the speed of that thing and how long it actually might have taken them to get out on the other side in Michigan.
Exactly my kind of
Holy
calculation.
moly. It could have been like 5 days.
Oh, days.
I mean, that thing does not.
Days.
They just not. I mean, let's say a mile an hour, which would be, fine.
Oh, my God.
It's many miles across.
It is many miles.
I mean, it could be 60 miles across. Do you think it's more?
Well, hang on. Let's find out. All right, I'm looking at my Google map.
This is the best science. I love it. Jen is in data heaven now.
Now,
start from Chicago.
Like Michigan's kind of penis-shaped.
I don't know about that.
Look at it.
It's like yep. It's like that carrot in the ad. But anyway, that's a callback too.
Chicago's down at the head of the
penis. It's a bit crooked.
All right, Chicago's at the bottom. Right, like Michigan, it goes. It's real tall north-south. It's much shorter east-west, and Chicago's kind of at the bottom, at the south of the long part.
I can't believe that's not more of a thing. Actually, it does look like hanging bits.
Absolutely looks like a penis. Okay, so if you go Chicago to just straight across, to the closest point on the other side, it takes you to Tower Hill,
Toledo.
Shorelands.
No, that's on the other side.
Lakeside, Michigan.
That's already Michigan? It's not Indiana or?
So here's the Indiana border.
Okay, so if you drift south at all, you could end up in Indiana.
You could end up in like Michigan City, Indiana.
That's not a good name for a city, but go ahead.
It is right on the border with Michigan, so
just confer. I mean, there are good people in Indiana, but that's a dumb idea to name a city Michigan City that's in Indiana. Sorry.
All right. So, okay. Hang on. Zola just sat on all of my pod equipment. Okay.
Aren't you privileged? That's nice.
She does love me.
She's the best one.
Okay, so if you go Chicago across to whatever, New Buffalo, Bridgman, Sawyer, Michigan, it's about 40 miles.
Wow.
And
so 40 hours by like it's I'm guessing a mile an hour is not too pessimistic, especially over the time, right? So that'll take you 2 days, most of 2 days, if you're pedaling the entire time with no current and no way. All
right, so here's a pedal boat.
That has a little slide.
This is a pedal boat with a slide we're looking at. It can go 4 to 6 miles an hour.
No, it can't. Nope.
The average pedal boat. Well, you do not get the average one on.
That's not true. That's just not true.
Absolutely not. Wait, look at this guy.
You know how fast running 6 miles an hour is? It's a decent clip.
These guys are on pedal boats.
Oh, no. Those are like souped up.
Foiling.
Souped up like hydrofoils. They're lifting out of the water. Okay, that's like racing bikes on a pedal boat. That's
hydrofoil racing pedal boats. How embarrassing if that's your sport. All right, I'm sorry. If any of you do hydrofoil pedal boat racing, please message me and tell me why it's awesome.
It's like you strapped a tandem bike onto a boat, onto a surfboard, and then the faster you go, the more it comes out of the water and like rises up.
I'm going to put a link to this video that we were just looking at in the podcast notes so you guys can also laugh at it. They go 20 miles an hour.
Well, that's not what these Lime guys were in. They were in a freaking just cheap tourist pedal boat that does not move fast.
Correct.
4 to 6 miles an hour. Someone made that up. Is that from Quora? Because it's some uninformed person making stuff up.
This is Watercraft 101 by Brian Mullinix. Anyway.
ChatGPT Linux.
Yeah, I know. No kidding. So there you go. You don't need limes.
What a great story.
Yeah.
So we were talking about what? Scurvy?
We were talking about the weights and fish boat.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we got here.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Are we ready for dog updates?
Yeah, I think so. Were we done with? I mean, this is my administrative corner contribution was going to be Underberg is continuing its lid action.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to keep drinking little Underbag bottles and keeping the lids.
That's right. You traded in our lid collection for 2 personalized Underberg glasses, which are adorable.
They have your name on. One of them has your name on them.
It says Professor Dr. Jennifer Goldbeck.
I know. I was gonna do the masters too, but that might be a little much.
They're awesome.
There's a character limit.
The little stand that holds like the Underberg bottles and the glasses is like gonna be discontinued soon.
I know, but it's
so we gotta
500 lids, and I can't drink too many of them.
Don't get sick. we could take like an empty like 750 milliliter vodka bottle or something, or rum bottle. We probably go through faster. Champagne bottle we go through real fast, and just empty all the Underbags into it. Put a little like top on it, so then we get all the caps, and then if you want some Underbag, you can just like pour it out of the bottle.
Yeah, those are real small bottles. That would take a long time to empty them all out.
Yeah.
And also part of the point is that they're these little teeny tiny bottles, and it feels like they're fine, they're safe, they're small.
Fair enough.
So I'm okay with just continuing to get bottles.
If you guys drink some Underbag. Yep. 1107 Key Plaza.
Shout out again to the feta.
Guac has the ball, and
stop being such a grumbler. Yeah, no, I'm sure she's grumpy.
Zip it.
Can't always get what you want, feta.
But if you try, sometimes.
Don't encourage her.
You just might find.
She doesn't need to be opened up to the Rolling Stones. That's a bad path. to go down. She's going to turn into some kind of mop head or whatever they were called.
Are you a mop head?
Some kind of hippie.
Okay, Underberg.
So yeah, it's a shout out again to the fan who sent me like their collection of lids and contributed to
very nice.
my riches. I don't know how many I have right now. It might be like 200, so we'll see.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I have some stashed away.
I bet you do.
All my pockets are overflowing with Underbag lids. Caps.
It's funny. Your daughter went to Mexico and brought us back a little bowl, which is real cute.
Yeah, it's like a glazed little Mayan thing.
Yeah, like Mexican pottery kind of bowl. It's real cute. It's in the kitchen. And it's, for some reason I don't understand, you're responsible for this, become the Underbag cap and also key limes from our tree bowl.
There are two things that are distinguishable and distinct, but they both need a home.
And they both, for some reason, go in this bowl. So you go to the bowl, and it's got like a bunch of Underbag caps and a bunch of key limes in it.
Well, where do you want me to put either of them? I think they live together in harmony.
It's one of those things where I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't like this organizational system, but also
that's giving it some credit. It's just a place to put stuff.
I'm doing other things right now.
It's just size appropriate.
And I don't need to make this an issue.
Mm.
Maybe someday I'll be like, here's a bowl for limes. Here's a bowl for Underbags. And we shall keep them separate.
What's the better use for that little ceramic bowl?
It could be either one. Just both is weird.
Freaks you out. Does it freak you out? Is it making you nervous? Does it make you verklempt?
I think you don't quite understand what organizational systems are.
Oh, I admit that this is just, I have no idea or real interest in finding out, though, because as long as it's there and out, I remember that it exists.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll lose it. If I put it in a clever place, it's gone forever.
Yeah.
The Romans, might find it, or the aliens might find it in 1,000 years before
the constant tension in our relationship. I like everything put away, and you would live with everything on the counter.
But it's not intentional, right? I put the roasties in like a new place in the fridge, and I thought they were gone this morning. I was like, I got to make more roasties. There absolutely are no roasties. And then half an hour later, I was like, ooh, I found my roasties. I found they were with the eggs. I don't know why they're with the eggs, but they're with the eggs.
All right, it's time for dog updates.
Yep.
Okay. This week, we got a couple palm trees that I planted on our beach a couple years ago, but they're juvenile coconut palms, which means the fronds are kind of at ground level still.
What do you do about that?
You got to chop off the low hanging.
Oh, what do you use for that?
You use a machete.
Well, yeah, you do. Yeah, baby.
We have a machete. You do need one when you live in the tropics.
It's cool because stuff grows so fast that you're constantly chopping.
Yep. So you take the machete to the palm fronds. Any palm frond you take out with a machete. I mean,
if you're
dead, it'll fall off.
If you have joy in life, you use a machete. Yeah.
And so I'm like, these need to be trimmed. There's some of the other ones need to be trimmed too, but I'm like, I'm going to machete these off. And I was out with Zola, and I'm like, okay, Zola's going to walk around and like sniff for things, and I'm going to machete these off. And so I went in our little shed, and I got the machete out, and Zola's like, what is that? And I was like, you can sniff it. Like, this is the machete. You haven't seen this before. And she's like, sniff, 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 sniff. She's like, oh, I love it. I'm in love with it. And I was like, okay, like, go away and do something. I got a machete. That she's like, no. The machete is my love. And so I like walk up to the palm.
Was she trying to bite it or lick it or sniff it?
She just wanted to be next to it.
Be with it.
She was kind of sniffing it.
Some want to be it and some want to be with it.
I let her do all the sniffing, but she's like, cool, I need to watch that thing move. And I'm like, you need to be much further away. And she's like, no.
Because the thing kind of like zings and goes when whips.
Yeah. And I like push her away. She's like, no, let me at the machete. So it was like a real process to try to trim this tree.
It's actually quite concerning to me.
Because I'm not going to be whacking away with the machete with a dog anywhere nearby.
With a wacky dog? No.
She loves the machete. She loves it. So
that's so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, she also loves my yeeting stick, my lacrosse stick.
Yeah, you let her chomp it.
If she can chomp that, that's it's fine. It's got like nylon strings hanging off. I don't know why there's things hanging off the back of it. That's just a lacrosse ethics or ethos or whatever style. That's the style of the times. But that at least she can tug on and stuff. Machete is just it's kind and ours are a little rusty by now too. It's not not rusty. The cleanest.
No, it's a real horror movie kind of machete, but it does take the
exactly like
off.
that.
Yeah.
It's a shock to me that it still works. It shows that it's not the sharpness that matters. It's like the whipness of it.
No, it turns out machetes generally not super sharp.
Yeah.
They don't have to be.
No.
And sometimes they're better if
they're not. Kind of like lawnmower blades.
Yeah.
They can be super non.
Yep.
Yep.
The other dog update is that Zola and Feta are going to go see trainer Michael.
The other update is they're the same weight now.
Oh, sure. You want to just inject that one first?
No. Go ahead and finish with the trainer Michael thing.
So
good question and no.
So on Monday, Ingo is going to drive Feta and Zola up to Maryland, and they will be in Maryland for a little over a week, and they're going to be hanging out with trainer Michael every day. They will be coming back to the Maryland house to sleep at night, so they're not boarding.
They wanted to be in Washington for the 4th of July because they're quite patriotic puppies.
Yeah, they are.
Yep.
So yeah, they're going to be up in Maryland. I'm going up for some other stuff, so I'll be up for like a day of overlap, and there will be a dog sitter here with the boys.
It's as usual, a 3-ring circus of logistics.
It is a real golden ratio household kind of logistics set. We got a couple of those coming up.
Everyone has some benefits from this arrangement.
I'm flying up tomorrow. I will be there until Wednesday. Ingo's driving up on Monday. He'll get in Tuesday. We've got a dog sitter here for 2 days to take care of the boys while the girls are coming up, and then I'll be back down. But yeah, they're going to get some training, and so hopefully they'll be slightly less crazy. And it's just hard with this many dogs to like give them the kind of training attention that I would like them to have.
I mean, I've had great success teaching Feta to not rush out the door. I just have her sit, and then she waits like a patient little... I'm kidding. She freaking bolts out that door like a bolt of lightning.
I was like, wait, does he really believe this?
No control. She might as well be a bucket of water falling over. Mm-hmm. There is no chance. Well, of course, in her defense, I'll be a fan of Feta's. Part of her jumpiness is that usually she's within, I'd say, half a second of having her tail chomped by Zola's teeth.
While that may be true, you're making up excuses for her.
I think
she should be able to just sit and stay.
I asked her, and she said that's why I'm so nervous. It's because I get chomped so much. So much. If I'm not fast, I'm hurting.
I'm looking at Zola.
My butt hurts.
She is a perfect little angel.
Well, she's exhausted from swimming now.
She's a magical dog.
Swimming and running around like a crazy dog. Magical or crazy?
I love her.
You decide. Well, she's pretty nice. Yes.
Yep.
Anyway, those two are the same size now, and I'm continuing to hope that Zola will keep growing. Mm-hmm. She seems to look like she's got still big ears, and her nose still looks like it's got some space to expand, some crumple zone. And so I'm hoping she gets bigger, because it would be funny to have her as the bigger sister while she's actually younger.
Feta is definitely stuck at 55 pounds, and she needs to... Feta's on a diet now, because even though she's only 55 pounds, you can't feel her ribs.
Feta's on a diet, which means I'm on restrictions.
Ingo hates this because Ingo is...
remember, this was the Venk challenge, too. I loved giving her treats.
I love giving snacks.
But she chonked up, and then so we had to do the Venk shrink...
Super drink
and the Vink shrink effort, and it was just very hard.
The Vinkman weight loss.
Weight loss challenge. Vinkman weight loss challenge.
Feta, I think of all the snacks that she gets, the snack that she likes best is ice cubes.
Best?
You rustle an ice cube and she bolts into the kitchen.
I don't know. I do not want to introduce the things that I give as snacks to your brain.
Don't give her those things. Give her ice cubes.
Fair.
Because she loves the ice cubes.
She full on loves the ice cubes, and so does Zola, and they're both happy having those things squirt around the floor. It's great.
Let's just do all ice cubes all the time.
Not disagreeing with this.
Yeah. I understand that she probably likes liverwurst and meats, carrots, and egg
yolks. I haven't given her liverwurst. That might blow her little brain. She does the chattering thing.
She likes ice cubes, though.
Oh, good. Yeah. How about a little teeny baby carrot?
How about ice cubes?
Baby carrot. And ice cubes.
Okay, we'll talk about
I'll do ice cubes. I'll do ice cubes. We can do flavored ice cubes. How about broth in ice?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
I'll make you some of those.
Meat cubes.
They make
meat ice cubes.
She's perfectly happy with just the water flavor, but if it makes you feel better, I'll make some broth
She
cubes.
doesn't know how much happier she could be.
Oh my God.
Some meat flavored ice
You
cubes.
need to talk to a therapist about this.
Meat flavored ice cubes.
All right, it's time to move on to Taste of the Keys.
Genius. This could be on the TikTok shop.
Oh my God. It's time for Taste the Keys.
Okay.
We went to the Monroe County Sheriff's Animal Farm open house this weekend. We have never been to the animal farm.
We've read about it. We've talked about it. We've had stories about it. We're 15 miles from it. We've never been there.
And so I'm taking this photography class. This is the last week of my photography class, but I had to
nerd.
Yeah. I get to take classes for free within the University of Maryland system, and so I'm taking this
cheap
photography
nerd
class this summer. Cheap nerd, yeah. If only they would have paid for that Harvard master's degree. That would have been nicer.
Wish I had a Harvard master's degree. Jeez.
Yeah, well, you know.
I'll take it all back.
You have the lower degree, and I have the higher degree from Harvard. It's fine. But yeah, I had to shoot this like documentary series of photos, and I was like, I don't know really what to do. And I tried some other stuff, and it wasn't great. And then I saw the announcement that the open house, it's like 4 times a year, I think.
2 times a month.
Twice a month, really?
Second and fourth Saturday every month.
Oh, wow. That's way more than I thought.
3 hours or something. Yeah.
We've never gone. So I saw the announcement that it was on this past Saturday or Sunday. And I was like, okay, we're going. I'm going to take pictures there. And also, it sounds awesome. We've never gone. And so we went, and you guys, it was like so much cooler than I thought it was.
Same. I mean, I was expecting cool. It was so much better. Guess what they have?
A capybara.
Capybara. Very active capybara.
Holy cow.
Also, that thing's giant.
It's so big.
So much bigger than I thought. I thought it was, big, like house cat size. The thing is,
like
guac size and it's a capybara. It's crazy.
Yes. So capybara, and he's like got his own little moat, and he swims around,
floats around like a hippo,
and like comes up to people. They've got lemurs. One of them is named Julian. Pigs.
Of course.
Horses.
Yeah.
I pet and held a baby.
Lots of reptiles.
Baby alligator.
Yep. Lots of reptiles.
Yeah.
Bearded
boa
dragon.
constrictor. Bearded dragon.
Big boa constrictor.
Ostrich.
Yes. Crazy.
There's a whole ass ostrich.
Miniature horses.
Yeah.
Donkey.
Goats.
Yeah, goats.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so cool.
Oh, big ass tortoises.
It was so cool. We don't have a zoo for 130 miles, but this is cool.
And I'm like anti-zoo because I think it's like
you're also
torture.
Anti-county fair for the same reasons.
I mean, they kill those animals at the county fair.
Well, they auction them off first. They treat them nicely.
Haven't you read all these stories? They auction them off, and it's like some poor 4-H kid is in love with their pig, and their pig wins, and then that means somebody gets it, and then they kill it, and the 4-H kid please no, I'll pay for it. Don't kill my pig, and they're like, sorry, this is what it's about: is we kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't read those stories, but now I feel like I have.
Yeah. There's every year there's those stories.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. It's there you go.
But the animal.
So far, nobody ate these animals at the farm. Fair enough.
The animal farm at the jail is like a rescue rehab kind of facility.
Except that one time as a callback to one of our conch life stories.
We did a Taste of the Keys where someone who was in the jail fed an iguana who was a resident of the animal farm to one of the gators that was a resident of the animal farm.
That's terribly grim. That's zoo cannibalism.
And there's so many iguanas in the Keys.
There were iguanas just encroaching on the stables, the horses' paddocks.
Iguanas everywhere.
Yeah. We don't have squirrels. We have iguanas.
That's correct.
I hope we don't get squirrels.
They have squirrels up in Key Largo.
I hope the pythons take care of the squirrels. How do you like me now? You don't have pythons in D.C. If we did, maybe we wouldn't have so many rats.
I don't think the squirrels can get over the 7 Mile Bridge, so we're protected.
Oh, only the long distance running squirrels can do it with the little bibs, with their little bibs on and their reflectors.
Oh my God.
I mean, if there's a squirrel on the shoulder, I'll give it a wide berth. I'll let it do its little running thing.
So anyway, if you guys come to the Keys and you happen to be here on, as Ingo says, the 2nd and 4th Sundays of the month or whatever. Saturday. Check the schedule and go out to Stock Island and visit the animal farm. It was super cool.
Doesn't cost nothing, and there's, sheriff's deputies there with they'll tell you about things. They know all the animals' histories and their ages and their stories, right? I mean, it was it's real nice. It was like a super cool zoo, like local zoo, without the meanness of. I would
call it an animal rescue facility.
Animal rescue facility that is serviced by jail inmates.
Abduction and imprisonment facility.
Yeah, fair enough. These guys actually are local.
Yeah.
They just couldn't make it in the wild. There's duckies too, I think. Duckies.
The ducks, I think, are just visitors.
Geesies.
There is an aviary.
There is a parrot?
I don't know if there was a parrot.
Some kind of parrot. There's a parrot
But there were ducks, but they were just out and about. I think they just live around there.
I think they were rescued and they just live around there.
I've seen because they're weird looking ducks.
Yeah, they are.
And
they're blackish and whitish.
I've seen them out at the street also.
By the golf course. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they can go in and out of the jail.
Mm-hmm. I think they're affiliated.
They could
maybe loosely, but they are.
Yeah, fair enough.
They have furlough privileges. They have to come back at night.
It's time for German word of the week.
Oh, hang on.
What is it?
Spielzeitverlängerung.
Say it slow.
Spielzeitverlängerung.
Okay, so it's like playtime or game time. I don't know what that last word is.
It's lengthening is the word, but it's overtime.
Verlängerung.
Verlängerung is like the short word for it.
Prolonging.
Yeah, the lengthening. It's the lengthening.
Right, sounds a little dirty, but okay.
Because it's Euro 2024.
It's fucking I'm not. No.
Wait,
no.
what? Wait, what did I didn't mean to trigger anything.
I'm not going to do another rant.
I'm not asserting anything. I'm just saying.
About how extra time in soccer is the dumbest fucking thing ever.
No. This is actually the overtime. This refers to like the 15 minutes overtime organized.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
I mean, are they actually 15 minutes? No. But they're closer. They're closer than the 45 minutes. It's still the arbitrariness, yes. But it's when you in international men's soccer at least. I think women's too. You play. They don't have the sudden death in most in non-American sports, right? So you play 2 15-minute overtime periods, and then so you can. I mean, there was a game I remember watching as a kid. It was 1-1, and then it was 3-3 at the end of overtime. Wow. Because it's not sudden death. You have a chance, and so it was 3-3 at the end. And then they still did penalty kicks. Yeah, they still did, but they could have just skipped that overtime period and just gone to penalty kicks. But yeah, you gotta decide it somehow. But
I do want to say that we heard from one of the friends of the squad that was like, Giordad is right. Germany is totally like a soccer powerhouse. And I just want to note that friend of the squad is also German. So I was like, yes.
Statistically, 4 wins in the World Cup. But we also did hear from another friend of the squad who completely was supporting your side, which is to say the American women's national team winning 4 World Cups is in like 10 years is unbelievable. And they are, of course, unequaled by anyone.
I'm just saying the men's team is not the default team.
Also, I totally agree, and I was just completely blindsided and talking from my, childish experience with soccer as a 8-year-old before I was aware.
Before women were even allowed to play, because it was a long time ago.
It's the patriarchy. It's the patriarchy. I'm just saying I also was a victim of the patriarchy.
Men are as much victims of the patriarchy as women. You guys, if I can insert a ramblings here.
Most of my problems are caused by other men.
Yeah, that's true. So there's a great Instagram account called, I believe, We Are Man Enough. We Are Man Enough is their handle. It is a great, like, positive masculinity Instagram account. It's awesome.
That's cool.
It's like there's clearly like a podcast, and they'll have like little clips of like dudes talking about stuff. Like they had one today about a guy or with a guy being interviewed talking about abortion and how like his wife was pregnant and was like miscarrying and kind of had to have, essentially what now we understand is like an abortion is a treatment for the miscarriage, and how like she would have died without it, and how hard it was for him, and how like men don't talk enough about like how hard it is. Not that it's the same thing as like how hard it is for their wives, but also
that's
that
interesting,
it matters
because they are also being a father and preparing to be a father, and then they're kind of screwed too.
Yeah, he's like, I never got to meet these kids. I never got to meet my kids. I never got to know their names. And he's like, we don't, like, men just don't talk enough about.
Yeah, you're allowed to talk about that. Yeah.
And they have like on, I think Fridays, like positive masculinity corner, and it's like just dad like singing songs to their kids, and it's not all parenting related stuff, but it dudes like giving hugs to their like pals. It's like a real positive masculinity, anti-patriarchy kind of account. Highly recommend.
We Are Man Enough.
We Are Man Enough. It's a good one.
Good.
Oh.
I was going with like Man Who Has It All, but that's a different,
also a good account.
That's a different, totally
on
different
Twitter.
bent.
Yeah, but in the same vein. But yeah, fuck the patriarchy.
Makes it harder.
It does.
It makes it harder. Anyway, so yes, the American women's national team is freaking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You can back me up on this. I watch women's soccer more than I watch men's soccer.
I think you generally are a fan of women's sports more than men's sports. Like when there are women's sports available, you will watch.
I'm trying to look at the games of the women's hockey team.
We watch those.
Women's Hockey League, the new professional women's hockey league.
Yep.
I mean, it's just fun. They pass more. They're less dickish. It's just a funner, better opener game.
Yep.
Just like soccer.
Okay.
Just like the soccer. And they don't fake injury
nearly
as much as the men. Same bent.
Yep, that's true. It's time for Ingo Corner, where you talk about whatever you want, and I won't tell you that it's boring.
Oh, holy cow. I was in the in our little office today that we like also rent.
We rent a little
overflow space, because sometimes space gets a little tight in this little
also sometimes space gets
overflowed house.
It gets a little doggy. And
sometimes it gets a little loud, because I tend to yell on the phone, but
you do. You talk so loud.
So you encourage me to get out of the house, or you get out of the house if I have any kind of conference calls and things like that.
It is a great luxury that we can rent a tiny little office.
I feel like I cannot be heard. I don't trust the microphone or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was in our little rental office 20 minutes down the road, and you brought me lunch. It was sweet. You brought Guac, and Guac was like super happy to see me. He was like jumping around and everything. I was very pleased, and it just reminded me how nice it is to have all these dogs around who do show their love and their appreciation and are just excited to be around us. And it's nice.
Oh,
I mean, I was being so used to it, right? I don't really think about it, but it's just awesome. Dogs are cool.
They are, especially ours.
Nothing new, no great revelation, but a nice little reminder.
Indeed.
There we go.
Guac also ate some of your French fries.
Well, it wasn't about the French fries, though. He was excited to see me before he knew I had French fries.
Also, I just gave him my fries. Yours were unadulterated.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for listening. Next week, we'll be maybe joined over distance, because the girls will be getting trained up in Maryland.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Completely mysterious.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
And until then, Slava Ukraini, and don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye.